As 2016 begins to close out and we look forward to a new year, let us pause and reflect and celebrate the state of our city. January 1st, 2016 was a cold and snowy day, but it rang out with the sound of changes. 2016 brought us new leadership, new ideas, and a renewed sense of community. With that new direction of leadership, our city council inspired collaboration, challenge of status quo, and a down-to-earth grassroots approach to governing our city. That has inspired us to be more open and transparent, more collegial, and collaborative. Together, City Council, my office, and the Clerk Treasurer's office have streamlined government, saved taxpayers' dollars in many areas, and yet still expanded services to residents of our city. Yet, let us not ever forget or ignore the fact that we are in an epic fight against drug addiction and the plethora of social issues that come with it every day. I started my term as mayor by burying a family member due to a heroin overdose. Since then, we have stepped up our approach to this gripping epidemic. Council generously put another officer on the force to give them 12 to combat this disease. We added a prescription pill drop-off box in our city hall in February, and I asked the commissioners of Randolph County to collaborate with the county health department even further to help offer free HIV and hepatitis C screenings. We've collaborated with Randolph St. Vincent Hospital to open discussions with partnerships between them and other mental health services. We've supported the availability of naloxone over-the-counter availability at the health department as well. We helped the grassroots Faith, Hope, and Healing Family Support Group find a permanent home at the Beeson Clubhouse, and we chartered a Winchester chapter of A Better Life, Brown is Hope at the Fire Training Center, which, by the way, after Matthew Tolley of the Indy Star published a story on my office's leadership in combating heroin in our city and county, a woman who I do not know from Seymour, Indiana, sent me a $300 donation towards the cause, and that donation was used to help charter ABLH. We sought out partnerships with Volunteers of America Indiana to offer them an opportunity to expand their Fresh Start Recovery Program, which is a mother-child inpatient rehabilitation program right here in Winchester. This will not only serve a great need in our city, but our county and region as well. Our efforts are being watched by the state as we model how a community can come together for a great cause of humanity. Quite like we did in the early 1800s for abolition, or the early 1900s for prohibition or women's suffrage. We have applied to the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority's Development Fund to help purchase a compliant building in the city and make the remodeling additions needed at the lowest cost possible and still be compliant by building code. We are only able to do this because of the county and community collective response to breaking the cycle of addiction. From our police to our firemen to our doctors, nurses, teachers, principals, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, our babies, we've come together. That's what people are watching us as we model how to do this. We must continue to educate others and advocate for more mental health services for our community. Even the governor's drug task force recently recommended that addiction should be treated as a disease rather than a crime. There are so many opportunities to bring up our city and county. It truly is awe-inspiring. For instance, it was pointed out to me early last winter that the percentage of someone who has overcome addiction has an extremely high percentage chance of relapse if they do not have the safe environment to go back to after help. That's why we stimulated Good News Habitat for Humanity to build homes at low interest rates, plus their sweat equity to provide that opportunity to take back control of people's lives and contribute to our society once again with good housing. Just like Winchester has reacted to housing shortage for the upper class to live and work here, we must also be proactive in helping provide housing for our most vulnerable. Jobs are also imperative to overcoming the grip of addiction. In 2015, our county's largest employer, Marjun, announced that it was going to close. As 2016 began, my office opened our doors and began discussion with a new business opportunity, TOA USA, LLC, to purchase Marjun and provide transition of jobs in the tune of 327 employees in December of this year. TOA executives and the owner has been to my office twice now for cultural and friendly meetings. I have visited their sister plant in Mooresville. Together, TOA Mooresville and TOA Winchester will provide the Subaru plant in Lafayette. As 235 employees, including 100 temps, lost their jobs, Randolph County Commissioners and Work One offered assistance through the TAA, the Trade Adjustment Assistance Program. The TAA was created to provide benefits and support to workers who become unemployed due to the impact of international trade. The TAA program seeks to provide U.S. workers who are adversely affected by trade with the opportunity to obtain the skills, resources, and support they need to become reemployed. We also saw growth in our oldest and traditional lifeblood employer in Winchester, Ardagh. Ardagh bought Anchor Glass a few years ago and recently invested $72 million back into the plant, as well as purchasing the warehouse formerly known as DMI in recent months. We've seen over this year new businesses come to the downtown square and other signs of growth and expansion in areas that have put Winchester on the map, like Silvertown and Cooley's. We have managed the design, implementation, and completion of several quality of life initiatives. The Gateway has been analyzed and a plan was created to continue its management. The Greenville Avenue project was completed with some changes to hold the contractors accountable and make the project more accessible to residents. We completed a master parks plan for the Goodrich Park, where more than 200 residents contributed their ideas and desire to make the park even better than it has been. We applied for a federal USDA streetlight grant that would have brought $90,000 of federal money into our community, but we couldn't secure the local $45,000 grant to accomplish it. We've dreamed about and inspired others to as well to create a public space on our courthouse square. We as a community revamped the Christmas Tree Lighting Festival and inspired many to want to get involved for next year. We had a big, better 4th of July fireworks display and opened the conversation for having a festival over the 4th next year. We started a concert series in the park thanks to a remarkable park board. We've created ways to assist property owners in demolishing dilapidated homes, and thanks to the leadership of council, we have begun to eliminate blight in the city. We've initiated Arts in the Park for next year and collaborated with the YMCA on several upgrades and ADA compliance issues to our pool, park, and our downtown. Christmas decorations to the downtown. Cut curbs for disabled people's better access to our downtown shops. And put an officer in the schools to support community policing. We rewarded our employees by increasing the longevity pay, thereby recognizing their years of experience and loyalty. Finally, we've saved money where we can and expanded services where it was needed. We limited access to the street department dumpsters, saving almost $50,000 a year, and that savings has been put back into alley repairs and the purchase of a new trash truck. We listened to a trash subcommittee to recommend staying in the city-operated trash service, and we bought a new trash truck, which will allow the old one to be available for recycling, which I hope to initiate in the next year or two. We upgraded our fire department to advanced life support and are the primary call to emergencies in the city, as well as on rotation with the county on transfers out of the hospital. This has bettered our fire protection rating and has decreased property owners' insurance because of it. Our police and firemen have been more engaged in the community than ever before, and the support they receive from the community is not only inspiring, but awesome. The animal shelter has received a $32,000 grant from Comfy Paws, a group of concerned citizens founded by the late, great Terry Hunsucker. Thanks to the expertise of our wastewater treatment plant employees, our clerk treasurer, and our board of works, we were able to save $300,000 in interest payments by borrowing money from the state revolving loan for the necessary upgrades needed to the plant. In 2017, we will build more drying beds, which will allow us to take on more industry and growth, and a new generator to ensure stability of services there. The Union Street project is scheduled to proceed in 2017 and will go from Washington Street to Short Street. We will upgrade the drainage, the wall of the bridge, sidewalks, and the road itself. This is an NDOT project where 80% of the project is paid for by the state. It will be inconvenient, as progress is, as it is scheduled to take 10 months. It will be inviting as travelers go towards our high school, our middle school, and our park, though. It also complements the Greenville Avenue project just completed. Visitors from the south or the north can enter our city from US 27 on Greenville with a new updated street and travel north towards our park or high school on the new, upgraded, and neighborhood revitalizing Union Street. We have collaborated with Randolph County leadership through Council's decision to spend $5,000 on a county comprehensive plan. We have collaborated with the Randolph County Economic Development Corporation to spend $10,000 towards the $50,000 others throughout the county will spend on an Okra Workforce Development Community Block Grant that will bolster our already strong workforce training program and advanced manufacturing. I have challenged the Randolph County Economic Development Corporation to improve its processes and governance structure by taking a new, fresh look at the bylaws and who is involved in the decision-making process. One of my absolute pleasures of working with the corporation has been with the County Tourism Director, Ms. Scotty Harvey. She has led the county with vigor in our bicentennial celebration and is a vital part of the new economic development philosophy that we, and now I think the rest of the county, is taking. Let's talk about that new economic development philosophy. This idea focuses on the quality of life issues that attract the best and the brightest to want to live, work, and play right here in Randolph County and Winchester. For instance, our focus on cleaning up Goodrich Park, the Beeson Clubhouse work, through the great leadership of Councilor Lennington and Councilor Furby. Also, initiatives in safe, inviting neighborhood cleanups, through demolition of blight, with the leadership of Councilor Williams, are the types of quality of place economic development initiatives that will drive our community forward. This is somewhat different to the idea that we incentivize companies with huge tax breaks and other incentives to get them to bring jobs here. In the past, economic development around here has been a bit of uncertainty, a bit of skepticism. Now, with our renewed economic development approach, we create the atmosphere that people want to live in, and companies then follow the people. This is only a logical philosophy, as the millennial generation, which, by the way, I happen to be in the oldest millennial age group, has become the largest age group in the workforce now. The millennials have. To this new philosophy, which I recognized early in my administration, I invited economists and sociologists from Ball State to council to present this idea called primacy of place. And Ball State offered us a scholarship to participate in a survey that assesses our assets and our needs. We learned that we must support not only job creators like Ardagh and Toa, but also the mom and pop stores in our downtown that are regional attractions. We must continue the great work of retention and expansion initiatives, following up on the former economic deals that left little traces of understanding, and create agreements to hold those receiving support from the city accountable. But we must also be held accountable. We must be willing to be bold to keep our city growing and relevant long into the future. We have an incredibly healthy general fund in our city, thanks to the good stewardship of this council and councils before them, and a close eye and leadership of Clerk Treasurer Vicki Haney and her office. We know where we stand financially because we took the bold step to take a careful look at our finances. We made the hard decisions of cuts and corrections so that we may retain our healthy budgets and grow. But we must continue to invest in ourselves. Our work is far from over. Those are all the things we have worked on together this year, plus many more. But we can't accomplish these tasks and just be finished. A city must continue to move forward, advance, and attract Indiana's brightest. To do that, I now offer you my vision for 2017. We will continue to invest in the infrastructure program that the state has opened to local government agencies. In 2016, we received $180,000 extra towards street repairs. We will combine the 2016-2017 street paving package into one to get the most bang for our buck in contractor bids and leverage towards applying for even more next year. Because of our asset management plan, we know with professional expertise which streets need what and when. This is efficiency at its finest. 2017 will be a major road improvement year. For instance, in continuing with the Union Street and Greenville project, I'd like to begin a streetscape project on Union Street across from the high school on the east part of Goodrich Park. Places to park, curbs, sidewalks, trails, and streetlights should be added there to beautify and showcase our remarkable park. We are also looking to install an 18-hole disc golf course on the west side of the park from the south to the north. We are looking at many other improvements to the quality of life in the park as well, such as upgraded litter containers, benches, bike racks, and a downhill slide. We need to consider the future use of the Lions Little League field. It is only being used now by the WCHS girls softball, and many have indicated a desire to put that space to greater use, like a festival lawn, where our community can come together to act out old traditions and begin new ones as well. We want to continue to pursue bringing high-speed fiber internet to residents in the city. So many businesses are supporting our American economy by setting up shops in their own homes. We must understand that because of our geographic location, high-speed internet can level the playing field. A game coder who has high-speed internet access here in Winchester could compete with someone in Los Angeles if fiber was offered here in Winchester. We must continue to be a community that addresses our problems head-on and creates real solutions. We have a heroin problem, and we have an opportunity to become the Midwest's leading city on addressing mental health issues. We're well on our way already. Look at the amazing work of the Journey Home. With the addition of the Winchester House, the name of the Volunteers of America Indiana's Winchester facility for addicted mothers with children, Winchester and Randolph County, with the brave leadership of Drug-Free Randolph County and Reach All Randolph County, commissioners and council alike, I can foresee even more mental health business coming here, providing jobs, collaboration with universities, and an example for the state as we are leading the fight against the decades-old opioid addiction crisis in this country. In 2017, I want to really begin exploring possibilities of a new city hall. My grandfather sat on the city council who built our current city hall, and God bless them, that was 30 years ago. And our police department and fire department and administrative needs have grown significantly since. Our current city hall building could be solely used as a public safety building, and a new city hall moved to a more visible and attractive location. I'm looking forward to 2017, to where we get as serious about brownfield cleanup as we get about blighted housing, where we celebrate our natural resources as much as we celebrate our high school sports. I want to see Winchester develop an arts program where our nationally recognized music students have a place to continue their passion and skill right here at home after graduation. At the same location, our talented theater students can participate in civic theater for Randolph County. As these arts programs develop, they eventually will need a home venue. And that venue could also house a senior citizen center. We must get creative and serious about how we can reuse older buildings in places that once served other purposes, like churches and other historical buildings. I want to see a cultural trail developed through the city that highlights our very important role historically in our state and our nation. I want to see bike trails and community colleges, community gardens and horse trails. I want to see packed city council meetings and volunteers lined up at park board meetings to offer their assistance in the park. The future is completely wide open. Collaboration between the city and county is evidenced by a developing comprehensive plan. Collaboration between the city and state as evidenced through the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority and their development fund, partnerships with NDOT and DNR, partnerships with nonprofits, small businesses, and international businesses as well, all prove we are on the right track, accelerating towards 2020. But we must keep the pedal to the metal. We must peel off the idea that we're a bedroom town. Nothing could be more dangerous. Bedroom towns just maintain. And I wasn't hired to just man the controls. And city councilors weren't elected to meet for the sake of meeting twice per month. We were elected to work together towards progress. Trust was given to us by the good people who put us here to create a place that our children will want to come back to someday. And that means understanding what that will take for us to do to accomplish. Clean, safe streets and sidewalks that we can walk on in the summer after a good day at work. Clean, modern parks that encourage human activity. Genuine and generous care for our community's most vulnerable, and courage to admit where our challenges lie and the prudence to do something about it. The state of our city is accelerating. We are moving forward quickly, and I invite every one of you to join us if you haven't already. Thank you all, and may the sun shine eternally on the city of Winchester.